have time to step back. You got to go forward. You got to push harder. Excuses, get out of my way. That's what this is about. So you got to recognize when it gets tough, you better get tough. Easy does not count. Easy does not work. You can't cheat your way up. You got to push your way up. Not everyone is ready to be at the top. Not everyone is suitable to be at the top. If you're having a mental breakdown, then the body will believe everything that the mind is telling it to do. You got to understand, the mind is a terrible thing to waste. And if the mind ain't right, then the body won't be right.
So you look outside, right? And the first thing you see through the window is that the running conditions are terrible. They're far from ideal. Your first inclination is to go back to bed, wait until it warms up, maybe hang tight until the rain or snow stops, which the majority of us would find completely reasonable, by the way. But let me explain this scenario from a different angle, because this is the exact situation when it's most important to get out of bed, to put your running shoes on, and to head out the front door.
It's easy to be calm and mindful when you're in a cave, but how do you do it in the world, and how do you do it under extreme duress? That's what reveals character. As a kid, I was really sort of naturally insecure until I discovered drugs and alcohol, and that was like the miracle salve that solved every problem that up to that point I didn't know that I had. I was a pretty broken guy. It was a pretty dire, dark scenario. I woke up one day, hungover, and decided I'm finally ready to do something about this. And went off to rehab, and I was able to actually grab onto that rope and start doing that interior work. That was my first introduction to meditation.
That was a very emotional moment for me. I'm actually there right now in my head talking to you. I remember that moment like it was yesterday. I was a fat guy trying to be a Navy SEAL now, and my life had come to this crossroads where I'm like, man, you have to go right. And no one was going right. Everybody was going left. I'm like, you have to go right. And to know the pain and suffering I was about to endure by going right, the amount of accountability and failure I was going to witness and suffer by myself alone on this journey, it was daunting. So when I finally got to the ASVAB test, and I was taking it for my very last time to get into the SEAL teams, or to even try out, they weren't supposed to tell me my score. And I went back out to my car after I took it. I was on some computer test, and I didn't know how to use computer. I was wigging out about that, because the first time I took it, was like some notebook, you open a Scantron sheet and you bubble it in with a #2 pencil and turn it in. I saw a computer and I was like, oh my God, it's on a computer? So I wigged out there and I had to get a 50 on mechanical comprehension. This is my second time. So I took it 3 times for the Air Force and twice for the Navy. So this is my second time for the Navy. And they're like, hey, this is it, man. You're done, you're too old, you have a limited amount of time to lose 106 pounds, and you have to take his ASVAB again. There's so many things that's crunching down my head. And so when I took the test, I knew I had a good enough score to get in the Navy, but to be a SEAL, I had to score high on mechanical comprehension, a 50. So the first time I got a 44 on mechanical comprehension. So I'm sitting there and I take the test and I hit send. It's out in outer space somewhere, but I knew it popped up at the administrator's desk. He tells you sit down, take your test, and you leave. I walked out, got in my car, or I was walking around the car, whatever, and I was like, I gotta go in and find out, man. So I went in, I literally sat there. Everybody's taking their test, and I'm begging this guy. And he's telling me, I can't tell you. It's against rules, everything. Right. He opened it up and goes, okay, man. He said, you got a 65. I said, no, man, I didn't know I got a mechanical comprehension. And he scrolled the page down, and it was exactly a 50. And I literally, what came through my body, because it's easy to talk about now to you, but no one knew the time and energy I put into getting that 50. It was pretty amazing. It represented an opportunity for a new life, but the thing about it is, I'm trying to be a Navy SEAL.